We see it every offseason. Players ink new contracts and extensions for hundreds of millions of dollars. Rarely mentioned is the difference between signing a deal with the Los Angeles Lakers in California and signing the same deal with the Dallas Mavericks in Texas. Two players with the same contract have much different spending power. We'll measure this by how many Jimmy Butler's big face coffees they can buy. Let's take a look. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and turn on the bell for more notifications. Athletes make some serious coin. The only problem is that the more you earn, the more you owe the IRS.
I take. He's okay. I take.
Let's look at an NFL athlete who earns $10 million in 2020. The majority of those earnings will be taxed at the federal rate of 37% plus FICA taxes of 2.35%. This would bring the total federal tax bill to around $3.8 million before deductions and a take-home pay of around $6.1 million. So, as a rule of thumb, all athletes are losing about 40% of their headline money at a minimum. Now, if you play in Texas, Washington State, Nevada, or Florida, you're done. These states have no income tax. However, that same $10 million contract only nets players in California around $4.8 million. With the highest effective income tax rate of over 50%, the California teams are at a distinct disadvantage in this financial sense. Not only is their cost of living higher, but players take home significantly less money. In the 2020 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins selected Tua at 5th overall. Despite having a smaller contract than the 4 players drafted in front of him, only Joe Burrow, drafted first, actually took home more money. Florida's 0% income tax also makes endorsement deals that much more lucrative. In the 1991 NBA Finals, Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls took down Magic Johnson and the LA Lakers in 5 games. The state of California saw Michael Jordan balling out on their own soil and decided he should owe them some money for that.
I take. He's okay. I take.
Enter the Jock tax. Thanks to Michael Jordan and his beatdown of the LA Lakers, 47 states now impose a Jock tax on players that play a game in their state. Meaning, a Seattle Mariners player who takes home a $100,000 paycheck after playing a game at the Yankee Stadium would be required to pay New York a percentage of his paycheck since it was earned in their state. Many players pay hundreds of thousands of dollars in tax every year and are sometimes forced to file taxes in more than 10 states. Higher state income taxes, among other increased business expenses, are a big reason why the New York Jets and Giants play in New Jersey rather than New York, and was a deciding factor in the Raiders moving from Oakland to Las Vegas. Not only does this affect the players' bank accounts, it also affects the team's ability to compete for a Super Bowl. Looking at the NFL data from 1994 to 2016, teams in a state with a higher tax were outperformed by those with lower or no income tax. States with no income tax outperformed California teams by an average of 2.75 wins a season. In fact, the first iteration of the Cleveland Browns, now the Baltimore Ravens, saw an increase of 1 win a year after their move from Ohio to Maryland. However, this also could be because they were the Browns. Overall, teams won about 0.25 games fewer for every percentage point increase in their state income tax. Look, not all athletes are mega millionaires. The average NFL player only plays for 3 years, and most of the salary cap goes to the best players who play longer. While the average NFL player is around $3 million, the median salary is $860,000. This means the majority of NFL players are making less than $1 million a year and only make about $2 to $3 million over their entire career. If a player was playing for one of the California teams, that $2.5 million becomes around $1.4 million after taxes, without even factoring in Jock taxes. That is a lot of money, but it's asking a lot for a guy in his 20s to stretch that for the rest of his life. especially considering all his family and friends probably expect the NFL player to pick up the tab.